Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. You know, gratitude is a practice. Being mindful is a practice. And what we practice comes stronger in our lives. So we want to check our mind, check our thinking, check our actions, our behavior, our habits. What are we practicing? What are we doing on a regular basis that is creating results in our life? We all work on autopilot most of the time. 95% of what we think and say and do is habitual. It's on repeat. There might be areas that you are stuck. There might be areas that you're doing wonderfully in. And there's other areas you might wish to transform something. And that all starts by your thought patterns. You've heard, if you think you can, you will. And if you think you can't, you won't. It all starts in your thinking. It all starts in the habitual way you think. And think about your thinking patterns. Do you think beautiful, wonderful thoughts and expect the day to go along with ease and flow, and anything that happens that seems out of the ordinary or might be a barrier or a challenge or a problem, that's not there to stop you. That's there to help you grow, to make you stronger. So we can look at challenges as opportunities for growth. When you can get to the point of being grateful for the problems in your life, I can't even tell you how much your life will transform. What if you just believed that life is happening for you? It's not happening to you. If you can take a look at the challenges that you've already come through in your life, the things that you've overcome, and be grateful that they happened to you, because that allowed you to become the person that you are. Think about all your strengths. Think about all the things that you've overcome in your life. How strong-willed, strong-minded, how physically strong you have become because of something that you overcame. I also see that what you resist persists. So if there's something in life that you keep trying to push against, that actually becomes a bigger problem in your life. When we're afraid of doing something, that might be just the thing we have to do. Fear tries to keep us stuck in old patterns, stuck in ways that are familiar to us, in a comfort zone, in a way we've always done what we've always done. We've always done it because it worked in the past, or our parents told us that's the way it is to be done. Have you looked around lately at how the world has changed? The world is much different than when our parents grew up, much different from our grandparents' generation, and so much different than 100 years ago, where there were no telephones. Think about the methods of travel, how things keep changing and improving. Well, things don't change and improve until you see a need for them to change and improve. At one time, people believed it was impossible to fly, and then the Wright brothers got us off the ground. Then the skies became so busy that now we have to start to look at a different way of doing things. I don't like standing in line and sitting for 3 hours waiting for a plane that may or may not arrive. As we look at what we don't want, first of all, if you get emotionally involved and really upset and complain and blame and become a victim and stay in that attitude, you attract more negativity to you. When you see there is an issue, there is something to be solved, how can we do this differently? How can this be done better? Then ideas start to flow. But that comes from looking at things from a different perspective. When I'm delayed, I usually just give thanks to God, to the universe, for keeping me safe. Maybe there was a reason. Maybe there's a storm on the other end. Maybe there would have been a mechanical failure or a crash. Maybe I was redirected and held safe. If we think back to some of the disasters in the world, there are people who missed being in that disaster because they were delayed, because a child was sick or there was a traffic jam, and they ended up not being in a building that was bombed or a plane that crashed, or they missed a terrible accident because they were running late. Maybe if you start to be grateful for everything, you can start to see how life moves like one gigantic symphony, with all the players having to play their part. Being grateful for everything that you have accomplished in your life, being grateful for everything that happened to you to redirect you to a different path, being grateful for the things that are in your life that are conveniences. So many things we take for granted in this free country. We have freedom of speech, we have clean, clear running water, we have reliable electricity, we have roadways that we can travel on, we have methods of communication that were unheard of even 20 years ago. In The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace Wattles talks about the first step toward getting rich is to convey to the formless substance. You could say everything comes out of the blue. Well, that's seemingly where you get ideas. They just pop into your head. They come from out of the blue. And then you think about them, you focus on them. Sometimes you dismiss them because you can't see how it's going to work. Sometimes you take action on a beautiful idea and it becomes reality. Well, that's how everything works. By focusing on what you want, by conveying to the formless substance the idea of your wants. You might want life to be easier, but if it gets too easy, you get stuck in a comfort zone. Well, you take things for granted. So it's really important to appreciate what you already have, what you've already gone through, and who you are now, who you have become. And let's look at where you are now as the starting point to where you want to go. When you think about some of the things that you want in your life, you have to convey the idea to the formless substance. You might say universal mind, universal intelligence, your higher self. Who do you want to become? How do you want to be living? What does that look like? Get a clear idea of what you really want. What kind of life is meaningful and purposeful to you? We can't just sit back and take and enjoy. We must put something in. And as we put into this universe, we are rewarded. What would you do differently in this life if you had all the time and money? What would you change? Who would you help? How many lives could you affect? How many lives could you impact if you had ideas of wealth, ideas of things being done differently? Instead of a rotary dial phone on the wall, now pretty much everyone has a cell phone that not only can they make phone calls, they can do more than previous computers that took up the size of a warehouse. Everything is available. We just haven't focused on bringing it into reality yet. So Wallace Waddell says the first step to getting rich is to convey the idea of your wants to the formless substance. You may not want to be extremely wealthy, but you might want to be richly blessed in your relationships, bringing more love into your life, having better family relationships, having better relationships with your community, your friends, your coworkers, your employees. What would that feel like? There are levels of vibrational energy, and when we're looking at problems, we might go down the downward spiral into frustration and anger. Well, we don't want to stay there, because when you're stressed, when you're angry, when you're in a state of dis-ease, you can't think clearly. Ideas don't come to you. You want to open yourself up to the universe and start to attract the ideas and the resources, the people, the opportunities, which will take you to that next level, will take you to the world of health and wealth and rich relationships. That means getting on that vibrational level of what that feels like. In order to convey an idea to the formless substance and think about clearly what you want instead of what you don't want, it becomes necessary to relate yourself to that formless intelligence, to God, to spirit, in harmony, in a harmonious vibrational energy, with love and gratitude and joy. To secure the harmonious relationship is a matter of such primary and vital importance that I'll, I'll give you the instructions that Wallace Wattles wrote in Science of Getting Rich. And if you follow them, it will be certain to bring you into perfect unity with the mind of God. And if you don't like the word God, if you have some problems with that, then say spirit, universal energy, source of all good, source energy, universal mind. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's what you believe. So Wallace says, the whole process of mental adjustment and attunement can be summed up in one word: gratitude. First, you believe that there is one intelligent substance from which all things proceed. Secondly, you believe that this substance gives you everything you desire. And thirdly, you relate yourself to it through a feeling of deep and profound gratitude. Many people who order their lives rightly in other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. Having received one gift from God, they cut the wires which connect them with Him by failing to make acknowledgement. It's easy to understand that the nearer we live to the source of wealth, the more wealth we shall receive. It's also easy to understand that a soul that is always grateful lives in closer touch with God than one who never looks to Him in thankful acknowledgement. When good things come to us, the more gratefully we fix our mind on the supreme power, the more good things we will receive, and the more rapidly they will come. The reason for this is simply that the mental attitude of gratitude draws the mind into closer touch with the source from which the blessings come. If it's a new thought to you that gratitude brings your whole mind into closer harmony with the creative energies of the universe, consider it well, and you will see that it's true. The good things you already possess have come to you because of certain laws. Gratitude will lead your mind out along the ways by which things come, and it will keep you in close harmony with creative thought and prevent you from falling into competitive thought. Gratitude alone can keep you looking toward the infinite and prevent you from falling into the error of thinking that the supply of riches is limited. If you think the supply of riches is limited, that would be fatal to your hopes. There is a law of gratitude, and if you are to get the results you seek, it is absolutely necessary that you should observe this law. The law of gratitude is the natural principle that action and reaction are always equal and in opposite directions. The grateful outreaching of your mind in thankful praise to the Supreme Power is a liberation or expenditure of force. It cannot fail to reach that to which it is addressed, and as a result, God responds with an instantaneous movement towards you. Draw nigh unto God, and He will draw nigh unto you. That is a statement of psychological truth. And if your gratitude is strong and constant, the reaction in the formless substance will be strong and continuous. The movement of the things you want will always be toward you. Notice the grateful attitude that Jesus took, how He always seems to be saying, I thank thee, Father, that thou hearest me. You cannot you cannot exercise much power without gratitude, because it is gratitude that keeps you connected with power. But the value of gratitude does not consist solely in getting more blessings in the future. Without gratitude, you cannot keep from being displeased with things as they are. The moment you permit your mind to dwell with displeasure upon things as they are, you begin to lose ground. You fix your attention on the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean, and your mind takes the form of these things. You then will transmit these forms or mental images to the formless. Thus, the common, the poor, the squalid, and the mean will come to you. You know, your mind is like, your brain is a transmitting and receiving station. With your thoughts, you're transmitting energy into the universe, and you are receiving like messages. We don't want the poor, the common, the squalid, the mean coming to us. That means getting out of that state of being, state of thinking, and to permit your mind to dwell upon the inferior is to become inferior and to surround yourself with inferior things. Wallace Waddell says, on the other hand, to fix your attention on the best is to surround yourself with the best and to become the best. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. We are thinking substance, and thinking substance always takes the form of that which it thinks about. I'm going to say that again. The creative power within us makes us into the image of that to which we give our attention. We are thinking substance, and thinking substance always takes the form of that which it thinks about. The dominant thoughts in your mind are what create your world, your reality, your circumstances, your conditions, your situations. So we want to start to go beyond the outside, what we've already created, caused. If we believe that we are the cause and the effect of everything in our life, that allows us to start to change our thinking patterns, to start to think about what we want to bring into our life, to think thoughts of beauty and prosperity and abundance and love and joy. What would it feel like if you were in love with the right person and they were in love with you, and you shared your life, overcoming any problems, working together, working through things, and allowing your relationship to become better and stronger and more loving? What about wealth? How much wealth would you allow into your life so that you can make a huge impact on your loved ones, on your community? What does it look like when you are living a purposeful life and your wealth can create huge changes for this world? What would you do? What would you cause to change for millions of people, or even just your family, just yourself? What would that look like? The grateful mind is constantly fixed upon the best. Therefore, it tends to become the best. It takes the form or character of the best and will receive the best. We receive what we send out. What we give, we get. What energy, what thoughts are you sending out into the infinite universe, the infinite intelligence, the infinite possibilities? Through your thoughts, you get ideas of how to bring that love, how to bring that wealth, how to provide solutions, how to change, how to get unstuck. So Wallace Waddell says, faith is born of gratitude. The grateful mind continually expects good things, and expectation becomes faith. The reaction of gratitude upon one's own mind produces faith. Every outgoing wave of grateful thanksgiving increases faith. The person who has no feeling of gratitude cannot long retain a living faith. Without a living faith, you cannot get rich by the creative method. And we want to be using our creative mind to change our circumstances, not the competitive mind. The competitive mind gets you into stress and limitations. So it is necessary then to cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. Do not waste time thinking or talking about the shortcomings or wrong actions of plutocrats or trust magnates. Their organization of the world has made your opportunity. All that you have received really has come to you because of them. Do not rage against corrupt politicians. If it were not for politicians, we should fall into anarchy, and your opportunity would be greatly lessened. God has worked a long time and very patiently to bring us up to where we are in industry and government, and He is going right on with His work. Wallace Waddell says, I believe that He will do away with plutocrats, trust magnates, captains of industry, and politicians as soon as they can be spared. But in the meantime, they are very necessary. Remember that they are helping to arrange the lines of transmission along which your riches will come to you. Be grateful to them. This will bring you into a harmonious relationship with the good in everything, and the good in everything will move toward you. We want to practice thinking in a certain way. We want to practice focusing on what we want. We want to give thanks for where we already are, what we already have. And in that feeling of relaxed energy, writing out our goal as if it's already been accomplished, because it's already in your mind, planting it in your heart, feeling the reality of it will give you ideas and opportunities. And then as you act, the universe reacts. What do you want? Feel as if you already have it. Give thanks for it already being here, because it's already in the spiritual form. It's already in your imagination. It's already in your beautiful mind. Send that positive thought energy out into the universe with the feeling of being grateful for already having it. And watch how fast your life changes. I am grateful that you are here in this practice with me. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.